Let's see. Hear the voice of the bard, who present, past, and future sees, whose ears have heard the holy word that walked amongst the ancient trees, calling the lapsed soul and weeping in the evening dew, that might control the starry pole and fallen light renew. O earth, return, arise from out of the dewy grass. Night has worn, and the morn rises from the slumberous mass. Turn away no more, well without turn away the starry floor, the watery shore. He has given thee to the break of day. It is I, your bard, your spiritual entertainer, here with you once again, underneath the cauldron of Ceridwen here, with the pentangle in the sky. Pentangles in the sky. Good to see the servant of Anubis is here. Good to see you, Vixen. Good to have you here. And who is this? This is Swiftwind Aquarius. Good to see you, our friend Swiftwind Aquarius. And Yo Maple, our wonderful friend from the mystical land of Icewind Dale, better known as Montreal. And Inquisitor Bacon is here. Good to see you. Making sure everything for your viewing pleasure is not kosher. We are glad that you are here, sir. All of these wonderful people. Today I have my new cloak on that Mommy made. Mommy made the cloak. It's huge. It's like a big blankie. And I brought it out to my grove last night to give it a whirl. I don't know if I want to keep it just for ceremonial purposes because it does wrinkle easy, and it is beautiful. I want to keep it safe. I don't know if I'll just use it for ritual or use it for my shows. We have yet to decide. Yep. My mother also made me this wonderful new rune bag, as you can see here, with the Owen symbol on it. Beautiful rune bag. I told her if she wants to use my channel to make stuff for druids, have a druid store. That would be a lot of fun. Moose, maple, and French words, indeed. Yes, always nice to have all of these wonderful people here with a wonderful cauldron of the goddess Ceridwen. You know, she's a wonderful goddess. She is, an inspiration. She is wisdom. She is encouragement. She is the embrace of the mother. Yeah, she is many things to many people. For me, she is that face of embrace, that face of encouragement. Her cauldron is one of embrace for me. As you see her cauldron. I'm trying not to get in the way of the symbolism of Ceridwen there in her beautiful cauldron. But yeah, we had a good time last night. We were out at the Grove, and I shared some wisdom from meditating on the element of water. Probably something nobody has ever done before. I mean, this is like the first time that I've been doing it, meditating upon the elements. Many people have never done that before. And I think it was a wonderful experience being out at my sacred spring that is in the middle of my grove and, sharing from that. Now, it's hard to maneuver. I'm going to go change this because it is hard to maneuver. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to wake up my boys. I'm going to grab the tortoise, and I shall return briefly. Give me a minute here. This thing, I cannot maneuver around it. I think I'm just going to keep it for ceremonial purposes because it's really I can't move around in it. It is so huge. It's like wearing a giant blanket, basically. I'll be back here in a minute. Let me grab my tortoise. Just a moment here. Grab my to you. We bring in the tortoise so you can say hello to Mrs. Tortoise. Right here. The tortoise, we got friends. Friends want to see the tortoise. Here she comes. The tortoise is coming. The tortoise is coming. There she is, right out of the cauldron. There she is. Look how sweet and precious she is. Oh, the tortoise. Hello, everyone. I am the tortoise of Geradwin. Nice to see all of you. Oh, how precious there. Nice, a sweet girl. Oh, there we go. All right. Putting her back. Putting her back. Oh, she's a sweet girl. All right, back to those. Back to your heat. Wake up, girl. All right. Coming back to you. Yeah, I'm going to put this up, my other cloak on, because that one is, I cannot move around in my chair with it. It is so large. I will just use it for like ritualistic purposes. Hope my mother doesn't get upset. She wearing my old one. Yeah, it's too large. I can't even move around in the chair in it. Yeah, it's like it's wearing a giant blanket. It's very, very restrictive. So I will wear the shorter one for the show, and keep that one for ritualistic purposes, because it just I couldn't move around in it. It was very difficult getting around in it. But yeah, I'll keep that one for ritualistic purposes, and this one for the show, because I'm always having to move around in my chair, and it's like I can't move. I'm stuck. So, Mother, if you're watching, I will use my other cloak for ritualistic purposes, and this one for the show, so I can move around in my chair. Yeah, don't want to upset your mother, right? You don't want to upset your mother. She's like, why aren't you wearing it? But yeah, here again is the rune bag. Beautiful rune bag. All right, where am I at here? The High Priestess of the Orchard is here. Gwendolyn, nice to see you. Good to have you here. Let's see, where else is here? Let me find out where I was at. Bard, your video on the meditation with water was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Much of what you spoke upon, I was also taught by the Oji Cree elders when I was a child. So these native people taught you about these things. Yeah, I'm just learning them. These are beautiful things. Being able to connect to the elements, right? And we're going to keep doing those meditations. Everyone's used to the earth. Everyone's used to trees and, being around rocks and stuff. But all of the other elements, you don't have a lot. I have not found a lot on it, but modern druidry has helped me to make those connections. Being a member of the Order of Bards, Ovites, and Druids has been very helpful. Let's see here. Gather around the cauldron, my friends. Has anyone had any trouble this month staying spiritually focused? Well, there's always distractions, right? There's always... and what do you mean by focus? Do you mean like when you're sitting down for meditation, or, having difficulties in your day in life? What do you mean by that? Let's see here. Joseph the artist, good to see you, our good friend. Good to have you here. Yeah, we're having a good week, right? I've been telling people, we just, in 3 days, we get 1,000 subscribers. I mean, that's wonderful, right? Before I got on the show, we're at 16K already. I mean, that's wonderful. This is like the best week we've ever had. People are enjoying earth-based spirituality. They're enjoying the comedy. They're enjoying the community. Without the community, there would be nothing here, right? So all of you and your commitment to the community here, I appreciate that. I appreciate you as the foundation for this program here. Let's see here. Let me see where I'm at here in the chat. All these wonderful people here. Let's see. No rule lawn chair. No, I don't have ritual lawn chair. No, I probably should get one, right? I should probably get one. Yeah. ELP. Bonjour to you, sir. Good to have you here, our friend ELP. Nice to see you. What is this shit, Cindy? I don't know. What do you want it to be? What you say? What is this shit? What do you want it to be? I mean, for most people, it's spiritual entertainment. Other people, it's offensive. For some people, it is comedy. For some people, it gives them purpose and meaning in life. It depends on where you're coming from, really, how you want to approach the cauldron of the goddess here. Let's see here. Ulf, our good Norse pagan friend. Nice to see you, Ulf. Do you believe spirituality exists without humans? Well, it depends on how you want to define spirituality. Spirituality to me is living. It is culture. It is experience. It's a way to live. So everything to me is spiritual. Yesterday we meditated on the element of water. Well, water is spiritual to me. So it depends on how you want to use that word. I mean, the cosmos to me, everything in it, this great web of life that we are all part of, it will continue on whether we are here or not. But we are an essential part of it, right? So it depends on how you determine that word spirituality. I don't think things are not spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Let's see here. You hope everyone is doing well? Yeah. Billy, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. You heard there was a freeze there in Iguana. Were falling from trees. Did you get any? Yeah, we had. It was so cold that they had to remove the bees that they had put out. The state put out across from my grove. They had to remove the bees. That's how cold it got. They haven't even brought them back yet. It was, Billy, it was very, very coldest I've ever seen it in Florida since I've lived here. I've been here since '99. But we're back on track again. It's going to be 80 degrees today. Let's see here. Aiden, nice to see you. Good to have you here. They said to speak to the water and to thank it when you use it. One thing mentioned was filling a bowl with water from a river, speaking your woes to it, and pouring it back to be washed away. That's a beautiful ritual that you learn from the native people, right? Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah, water has all kinds of purposes, right, in its spiritual reality, right? When I was a Christian, when you were baptized, you were the water of Eden brought you into the experience of the divine again. That was the purpose of baptism in the Eastern Orthodox Church. The baptism gives you the power of immortality. It helps you to return to the Edenic state. I thought that's a beautiful tradition. Now, I'm not Christian anymore, but I still think that is a beautiful tradition. Let's see here. You meditate with images of fire, the white horse, the presidential motorcade with fairy things. That's an interesting thing to meditate. The presidential motorcade. Why not the papal one? I mean, if while you're at it. Let's see here. Did we break 1K last night? Yeah, he did. We are now at 16K. I mean, it's amazing why people are enjoying this. I mean, it blows my mind. This has been like the best month so far, right? Do I teach alchemy? No, I do not. But in a way, I do. The alchemy for me, in terms of you're talking of the Hermetical tradition, right? That's how I see the cosmos in a Hermetical way. the union of opposites, the union of two different things, the alchemical vessel. That's how I see the world that we live in. When you enter into the harmony, when you bring balance, when you bring things together, something new is born, something wonderful, something beautiful. Yeah, the earth to me is the alchemical vessel that gives immortality. It is the sorcerer's stone. Yeah, finding that harmony with what is natural, that is our purpose. Thank you for the explanation. I think I'll put my head on a rock and spiritualize myself. Well, good for you, Cindy. I'm glad you're getting all excited about your rock there. I hope it brings you lots of pleasure. Let's see. Let's see here. Things don't count to people right away, especially when you don't know what's going on. Yeah. Are they effective in actually opening any doors? Are they effective in actually any doors for anyone? What do you mean by that? You talking about alchemy? As a spirituality, I mean, it's beautiful, right? Hermeticism? Is that what you're talking about? Good morning, Super Scott. Nice to see you, our good friend. Super Scott. Good to see you. Feel the rhythm of the universe. And are you on our Discord server? Well, you've been a part of the program for half a year at least. Why aren't you on our Discord server, Ulf? Do you need to get on there? Gwendolyn can hook you up here if you give your Discord name. We can get you on our Discord server. You've been here a long time, right? Now, if other people that are new here, if you'd like to join a Discord server, be here for months, or go to the join button and buy me a cup of coffee. That will get you in. That's like saying, does math exist if someone isn't there counting? Yeah. Jesus with Jacob. Jesus is the most high spirit for you. Yeah, I have no problem with that. If you see the Christ as like the Lord of spirits, but he's not the only one. And all spirits, they are in communion with each other. There's the idea that everything in other people's religion is devil, I think is inappropriate. There's a harmony amongst the spirits of our world. There's a harmony. And there are people with amongst ourselves with greater authority. Why would there not be a most high spirit that is a coordinator, not a dictator, but a coordinator? The idea of the ancient Greeks, the logos, right? You find that in the Gospel of John, that the Christ is called the logos, the one that brings all things together, right? Who brings you into the divine Sophia, into the wisdom. I think that's a wonderful way to think about it. When I was a Christian, that's how I thought about things. You're thinking the earth would be here if we were not. Yeah, well, it has been, right? There's been times when we have not been here, and the earth has not been less spiritual, right? You went from 18 to 60 in 2 days here. Yeah, good old Bridget is bringing in the warmth, right? Bringing in the sun. Let's see here. Mordecai is here, our Roman Catholic fundamentalist friend. Bard, Nietzsche said, don't go to men, go to animals, which means people who haven't evolved to a Christian state. No, that's not what he meant. I don't think he was a fan of Christianity. Now, you're free to interpret whatever you want, but that's not what he meant. Yeah, you thought Snoop Dogg was most high? He probably is pretty high right now, right? Glad it was just a short cold snap. Reminded you of Michigan. Yes, it did. Without the snow. I mean, it was 20 degrees at one point. No snow. There was certainly frost on the windshield. In Billy and my my city, pipes were bursting everywhere because they weren't used to being frozen. It was something quite new to the area. Let's see here. Snoop Dogg ain't nothing on me. Lewis is here. Lewis is a stoned again Christian. He is a master of the reefer. He is the rolling champion in the world. In the Guinness Book of Records, Lewis has rolled the most reefers in 1 minute. What is your record again? Let's see. You can't be unchristian once you've truly received the Spirit. You can't go back. All right, well, I've received the Spirit. I'm not doing Christianity the way you want me to, but I've never denied Jesus Christ. I don't have any problem. I just don't accept the biblical canon. I don't accept the church's understanding, the forcefulness. Accept it this way or else. He who believes not is condemned. I don't think he said any of that shit. To me, the Christ is one that helps you return to the embrace of the Father, the one that helps you to know that you're loved. And to me, he reveals the greatest contradiction of Christianity. You don't have to believe in anything, and you will still be loved. Now, you won't teach that. You say he'll only love you if you do it his way. I reject that. I am a father. I can only assume that the All-Father is much better of a father than I am. I don't give a shit what my children believe in. I will love them. I'm not going to torture them for their bad choices at the end of the day. The way that Christianity, the church, to me, has twisted this good truth of the Christ in the world, has twisted it to control and manipulate. The Bible, to me, is not a good book. It is a book that enslaves you, that gives you a vision of God where if you're not producing fruit, you'll be cast out. Could you imagine me telling that to my 11-year-old? You don't do good in school, I'm going to cast you out, sir. Right? Could you imagine that? That is the vision of the New Testament. That if you're not performing the way you should, you will be punished for it. That is terrible. That is not a father. I reject the Bible as God's word. Now, it certainly has wisdom and history in it, and that's wonderful. It has mythology in it, but when it is not God's word. God's word is the center of every person's being. In how you approach the world from this reality of the Logos within you, the Christ consciousness, you can find God everywhere if you wanted to. You don't need to find him in a book. You don't need to find him in a church. You can find him in the face of your child. You can find God in your lover. You can find God in the sunset. The way that the Bible presents God is inappropriate. This God who needs appeasement, this God who needs worship, that is terrible. I don't need anything from my children. I love them, even in all of their weaknesses, in all of their bad decisions. The way the church presents Jesus Christ is an abomination to me. Let's see here. If choosing to survive and flourish in this chaotic world, a betrayal of our divine essence. See, I'm going to stop you right there. Nothing is separated from the divine. The divine can be found in all things, not just human beings. We are just part of the web of life. The divinity is found in all things, not just human beings. This is a lie of the Abrahamic traditions where the world that you live in has no value, just you. I mean, that's despicable. That's why we're destroying our world right now. That's why we have environmental problems. It's because bad religion has taught us to treat the world like a prostitute. The world is living. You would not be here if the Mother Earth did not allow life to be walking around up here. You owe an allegiance to the ground you walk on. And that allegiance is one of respect, love, as a mother. That's what the earth is. The earth is not a ball of dust. She is living. Oh, let's see here. Our air, light, month, and smoke a pound. Damn. How do you manage all that reefer? Do you have any brain cells left, Lewis? Oh, my goodness. The Holy Spirit is known as the Spirit of truth in other faiths. Yeah. Now, the Catholic Church teaches that there's a ray of light in all religions. Too bad most people ignore that truth that are Catholic. It's in Nostra Aetate. Nostra Aetate is a Catholic document from the Second Vatican Council that says you are to preserve and to protect what is of God in other people's religions. But that is ignored by most Catholics. Let's see here. Even in the Abrahamic faith, water is sacred. Yeah. You find it interesting. Shit, where did I just lost that comment? Oh, damn it. Where am I at here? I just lost that comment. I'm sorry. I'm trying to come back to it. Where, son of a bitch. All right, now I found it. There must be something to it. Yeah. The idea in Christianity, when Christ goes and is baptized in the waters of Jordan, is that he changes the nature of water. The Jordan is supposed to be connected to all waters. Now, water has been therefore changed. When he is crucified on the cross, his blood and water comes out of his side. And where does it go? Into the Holy Grail, the earth. The earth is the place to find the deity, not some mystical place in the sky. And this is supposed to be, now, most Catholics and Orthodox people, and Anglican and people that celebrate sacraments, they don't see it that way. But the earth is the one that gives you the sacraments. What you receive from the church's liturgy, that is connected to the earth. The liturgical cycle revolves around the earth. Now, if you most Christians don't understand that. And where did all the Christians get that from? Paganism. Pagans were celebrating the wheel of the year. They were celebrating these agricultural cycle. They understood that the world was Eden, the world, and this is why today many people are leaving Christianity for paganism or other types of earth-based spirituality, because Christianity doesn't teach that anymore. It teaches you that the world doesn't matter. All that matters is getting upstairs. It has forgotten its roots. Yeah. Let's see here. Robot Wolf, good to see you. The water, fire, earth, air is an all baptizing. That's right. It is a process. Yeah. Alchemy is the best skill in oblivion. Yeah. Do you think so? I like the enchantment table. Do you remember you had a very nice druid gentleman on when you were still a Christian? I think you'll bring him back on. We talk all the time. He's a good friend of mine. He's kind of like a mentor to me in the practice of druidry and earth-based spirituality. He's the one who got me into it. Yeah. And of course, you can practice druidry as a Christian. That's how I started out. Practicing druidry had nothing to do with me leaving Christianity. That leaving Christianity is because of what I discovered about the Bible and the church, about its how it controls people and manipulates people, its origins, its foundations. Seeing this great evil, I said, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. It had nothing to do. There's lots of Christian druids, as well as pagan and Muslim and Jewish and atheist. You can be any type of anything and practice druidry. Let's see. The spirit of truth touches many people across many. I want to go a step with that. The Spirit of truth touches everyone, not just certain peoples. No one is separated from the divine. This is a lie of the Abrahamic tradition, that you are in original sin or you are separated from God in some way. That is bullshit. The divine does not separate you from itself. That is irrational and immoral for a creator, a father, or a mother to say, oh, look at, you're not doing what I want you to do. I'm going to make you live outside in the backyard. That's terrible, right? Not even in the narrative of the Old Testament, if you want to look at it as a positive thing, that God never separated himself from Adam and Eve. Let's see here. You're using the Oblivion OST. That's right. The 10 Towns. That is the best type of music. Top bloke, as you call yourself. And Stoner Jesus said, why turn iron into gold when you could turn water into wine? Yeah, why not, right? Why not? Truth. Because you know the truth and have communion with God, and once you've tasted God, you can't go back. It's like eating a steak, then deciding to go back and shit. Makes no sense if you are touched. See, I don't think anyone is not touched. I don't. Some people experience enlightenment at some point in their life. Not everyone. And that happened for me when I was 20. I had an experience with the divine, where all of this power, all of this embrace went into my body. And it collects right where out of the belly will come rivers of flowing water, said the Christ. Well, I feel that. Right where my stomach is, it feels like I have a baby in there that moves around. I mean, it flows with my emotions. It's connected to my emotional status. Like if I'm feeling really down, it's really intense. Like it comforts me. There's an intimacy there, a bond that has changed my life. I never feel alone. I did before this being went into my body. Now, some people think that I am possessed or delusional. I mean, whatever you want to think about it. It's made me a better person. And this experience has never left me, no matter what type of theology I've had, what type of church I've been in. And now not being in a church at all, just being a heathen, running around in the woods, skyclad, it's still there. And I've tried to interpret it in many ways. Is it the Holy Spirit? What type of entity is inside of me? It feels like a woman. That's what it feels like, that there's a lady inside of me that comforts me. The divine Sophia. I've tried to interpret it in many ways. I always run out of explanations for it. At the end of the day, all I know is I am loved. That's it. That's all the answer that I have. I can't explain it any other way. And because I am loved, I want other people to feel that love too. Now, I don't know why everyone doesn't get what I have. That would be wonderful if they did. Like my wife. My wife doesn't feel this power that I feel inside of myself. She says when she feels God, it is like around her. It does not feel within. Now, my wife, as some of you have known, she hears things. I don't hear things. She's heard God. She's heard entities. She hears voices. You might think she is schizophrenic, but she is a medium, is what she is. She hears things. She doesn't like hearing things anymore. Because it's a nuisance for her. She tries not to hear anymore. But when we were younger, she heard all of the time, and it was a positive voice that she heard, one of comfort, one of encouragement, and let's see here. Don't be so hard on Jesus. That's the thing. They got correct everything. There is the only way. Yeah. The idea that the biblical writers want to impress on you an only way It's because they're trying to control you. There is only one way. There is only one religion, and that is found in our creativity. When you say this is the only way and it will be the only way forever and always will be this way, you have stopped human creativity. And you've created a tradition that enslaves people, that does not allow them to develop beyond a certain point. And that is the Christian tradition. There's a story in the Christian tradition that many of you don't experience because you're not exposed to biblical scholarship. You don't know how the Bible was formed. You don't know how the words were put together and who was the master of it. The Bible, the church, was a tool of the Roman Empire to control the nations, to control the world. Religion was a unifying force, just as it was in Islam, right? It is a tool of control. And that's what it had become, a very wicked thing. And if you don't believe me, look at the history of what happens when you have contradicted that control. What would happen? They would torture your ass, or they'd wipe out your culture. They would have reasons to harm you, to rape and pillage your neighborhood, right? Because you wouldn't matter until you are following the rules. When you start following the rules, then you are of value to the God. When you're not following the rules, you are not of value. That type of God is no father. What the church still teaches today, the Catholic Church teaches, you have this being that's always writing down everything you do and wanting to punish you for it. And the church has worked out a system to help you to appease this deity by doing penances or confessing this or doing that. It's a scam. The church is the greatest scam in human history. And a lot of people, they are waking up to it. Now, when I say church, I'm not talking about individual Christian people. I have no problem with Jesus. I have no problem with people who want to follow Jesus and love Jesus. No problem at all. The problem is when you say, do it my way or else. And that's the message of most Christian institutions, right? There we are. Let's see. Yes, truth can be found anywhere, and you can find truth in a science book. When it comes to God, which is love, Jesus pointed at himself and said, he is the only way. Yes, and there's a context for that. The Gospel of John deals with this idea of logos. It is a Greek word, a Greek philosophical reality about the foundation for everything that is wonderful, everything that is beautiful, this philosophical idea that holds all things together. So when Jesus is claiming to be the Logos, he is claiming to be this principle. Now, what a modern Christian will do is they'll take that out of context and say, your religion doesn't matter. Your ideas don't matter. You have to have it this way and this idea. The reality of the Logos, it is present in all people. You are the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the divine except by you. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, those around you will never see that divine reality. That's what he was teaching. And it's been taken out of a context, and it's been very inappropriate. You know what people do today in our modern world. You can be a Buddhist and find everything of God and everything wonderful. You can be a Hindu and find everything of God and everything wonderful. You can be an atheist and find everything of God and everything wonderful. No one is separated from it. You just go deeper in the experience by living truth, by loving, by doing good. You go deeper in the experience. No one is separated from it. And some religions, in philosophies, they are better than others in helping people to experience that. Let's see here. You've learned if you're a truly positive light path being, Yahweh is on your team no matter what, because he is a positive base God. No, he is not. Now, the idea of divine, of God, is brought to this idea of Yahweh from an outer context where you reinterpret the text. Yahweh, if you take all of your religious conditioning and you take the text of the Bible and you see this Yahweh fellow in his action, he is not good. He tells people to enslave, to rape, to murder. He is a terrible God. He torments people. And when you get to the New Testament, what does Yahweh do? He tortures you forever because he doesn't like where you're putting your private parts, or he doesn't like you stealing out of the cookie jar, right? This Yahweh character is evil. He is not good. Now, the idea of God that you're aspiring to is good. Now, you're reinterpreting Yahweh, right? But the Yahweh God, he is a warrior deity. He is no different than any other deity of that time, Odin, Thor, all of these ancient deities, Ares. He is a deity of a people that wants to take numbers and kick ass and make you the greatest in the world. When you understand how our ancestors understood divine beings, they had a certain agenda with that, which is inappropriate. It's inappropriate to attribute war to a deity. It's inappropriate to see the deity there. That is the human being doing that. The gods, in their places of, in the cosmos, are good and benevolent and loving. That is the foundation for harmony. Now, I certainly believe that there are deities that have chosen not to do that. There are definitely, I've done exorcisms. I've seen dark things in my experience of life. There are bad entities. There are fallen beings, if you want to call them that have fallen from that harmony, right? They have chosen to not play that in that harmony of the cosmos. And they have, and in doing so, as they are called, the archons, falling out of that harmony, they lose that natural energy that allows them to flourish, to exist. Where do they get their energy from? They have to siphon it, right? From other beings. They live on the energy of your fear, of your guilt, and of your shame, and of your pain. One of the things you'll find in working with people who are dealing with dark entities is that these entities, the first thing they do to you is they get you to despair. They get you to a place where you feel that you are lost, you are hopeless, beyond fear, to a place of despair. They feed off of that energy. These entities take advantage of your weakness. And on a grand scale, they seek to do this. And how do they accomplish this? Through the corruption that they sow in the world, through our governments, through our politics, through our religion. The Catholic Church, to me, and all of the broken off pieces in the Protestant churches, this is the greatest tool of this dark entity, which you can certainly call Yahweh. He lives and thrives off of your fear. The church is a great evil entity in this world, and many of you are enslaved to it, unfortunately. I certainly was. Now, my friends that were clergymen, they've thought I've lost my damn mind. They cannot figure out I was kind of like, I guess you could say, the golden boy amongst these group of men. They looked to me as an example because I was always striving to be the best. I was there to encourage, to inspire. They cannot figure out why I left the ministry, why I left the church. They think that I have lost my mind. It doesn't make sense to them. I had everything going for me. I mean, if I went back to seminary, I would do 2 more years and I would have my own church. I was on my way to being a presbyter. I had everything working out for me. Why would I leave? Maybe I did lose my mind. That is an option, right? But I began to see these patterns in Christianity, in religion, in church, that were unhealthy and not good. The idea of needing to be saved, the idea that I am fallen, that I am terrible, these were all manipulations. You know, some people say, I have chosen this path so I can do whatever I want to do, live in an immoral life. I want to live a good life. I want to do what is right. I don't want to do whatever the hell I want to do. I want to do what is right. But in doing that, in wanting to do what is right, I cannot be a part of an organization that manipulates people. If you don't think, if you are a Christian right now, that you are deep into the church experience and you think that I'm full of shit, try not going to church anymore and see if your God still loves you. Most Christians, 95% in this world, you would not go to church at all if you weren't compelled, if you weren't made to be afraid, forced into the worship of this deity. You would not be there. Just ask yourself that truth. Would I still follow my church if there was no hellfire? Ask yourself that. Would you? Be honest with yourself. Would you even go to a church if there was no hellfire? Right? That should tell you everything. That you're not interested in the Jesus at all. You are there for selfish reasons. You are there not because you want the God, but because you're afraid. You have been compelled. You have no interest in the deity. You have been compelled. You've been made to be afraid. And therefore, that is why you go. If you're honest with yourself, you know this. And it's shameful. Now, think about that. Let's pretend that your church and your Bible is telling the truth about what God is. And you're going to be judged upon your actions, right, by your God. Do you think he's going to let you scam him? Think about this brutal and violent God of the Bible. You're just going to church so you don't have to get out of hellfire, right? Do you think you're going to scam the God at the end of the days? Because you didn't give a shit about me. Look at you. You only went here because you thought you were going to get something from me. Do you think he's going to let you scam him? I mean, be serious, right? These are things I asked myself when I was a Christian. I would ask myself all the time, would I follow you if there was no hell? And the answer was no. I wanted to be with God. And this message of God that was given to me by Christianity, it was terrible. I could not live. I was always striving because I was afraid of displeasing the deity. If you don't bear fruit, you're cast out, right? You're cast out. I was always afraid of not bearing fruit. I didn't want to be cast out. That is a terrible relationship with someone who's supposed to love you unconditionally, right? And upon leaving Christianity, one of the things I was inquiring of the Father, like, what the hell do I do now? And the answer was, not a goddamn thing. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to be loved. That's it. I don't have to do anything. And I will be loved. Now, because, I could feel the power right now. Try not to cry. Because I am loved this way, I want to express gratitude. I want to express appreciation. And therefore, I engage in, I guess you could say, praise, my poetry, in gratitude for being loved, right? To know that I have value and purpose, and I don't have to do anything to get that, right? You're not taught that in Christianity, right? You're not taught that. So some of you think I've lost my damn mind. I'm only just begun. I've only just begun. All right. Let's see here. I know I'm way behind now with my sermon there to you. And I hope that brings healing to some people there. I don't know if Natalie's on. Yeah, there she is down there. Natalie was right. It is time to do some healing, right? It is time to heal. Natalie has a wonderful daily messages on her channel. And she does a lot of these beautiful morning messages about the energies of the day on, what is it called? Rook and something? Natalie will put that down there. You can go check out her channel if you want. Beautiful messages there. Trinity Ivy Moon, nice to see our good friend who has got great heritage from the Lakota people, right? And we're talking about the elements of water this week in my community, about meditating with water, about why our ancestors all around the world, in every indigenous people, and in my Celtic ancestors as well, they always would name their rivers. They would name their wells. They would name sacred places, lakes, and things. These things were living. These things were life-giving, right? They had, they had purpose. They have memory. I'm going to be working on something. We're going to be talking maybe by the end of the week. I'm going to be talking about ancestral memory and how our memory of our ancestors is tied to the land. The land has this memory. The land has a voice. The land has an experience. These places where our ancestors would meet, these sacred stones, sacred trees, they're in all peoples, all religions. You find these places. They have a memory that continues to speak to the world. It continues to transform, right? At some point, I'm going to be expounding, maybe tonight. I don't know. If I have time, I got to put it up on Substack. I'm going to be talking about ancestral memory and sharing that with people. Now, I get all these people on here. If you like watching, some of you have been watching, go up and give this, just touch it right there, that thumb on your phone, or if you're on a computer, go give it a like. I do this every day, and I do it for a living. And when you like it, when you subscribe, when you go off on the side there with little hearts and smiley faces, and those things there, that helps bring people here. That supports what I do. If you are able to financially support me, there's a join button over there. Price of a cup of coffee. I mean, you pay for all other types of entertainment, right? Buy me a cup of coffee. I mean, that's the least you could do, right? A small, medium, or large, if you enjoy being here. Because I do this for a living. And when I'm no longer being paid for it, I won't be doing it anymore. It'll just continue to be a hobby where I'll get on here once in a while. But because you pay me, I continue to be here. Now, if we do get up to 50 people watching today, I'll give out 5 free subscriptions which will allow you to be on our Discord server. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can go to the join button over there and buy me a cup of coffee and become a community member. We have a wonderful community of all kinds of people from different experiences, all together in one place. Let's see, yeah. Let's see. Since we know the truth, we don't need Bible thumping. Yeah, tell them, Vixen. Tell them, Vixen. It's a metaphor. Once you touch God, you don't go back unless you're Lucifer. See, that's bullshit. Do you touch God, or does God touch you? How does that work? Right? It is you being touched by God. You don't lose that. You know, let's look at the Christian boogeyman for a minute. Lucifer, right? He does all the dirty work of the God. You're saying that he is no longer being touched. He's in the biblical narrative. He is doing all the dirty work of the God. So he's obviously still being touched. You know, think about that in terms of Lucifer being a son. You know, why doesn't the God wipe him out? Because he's a son, right? He hopes that his son will change. If that is the case, I don't believe in Lucifer. I think the idea that God needs a boogeyman to go around doing his dirty work, I think is repulsive to me. That God needs an angel, a fallen angel, to go around tempting people and torturing them and shit like that. Think about that for a moment. What does that say about the God? That he's a son of a bitch, right? Let's see here. Which other spirit is in line with Jesus Christ? All spirits. I don't have a public Discord, and I'm not very social. I just like to think of points while I'm here. All right. Well, if you're always welcome, Ulf. You're always welcome into our community. It's always nice to see our Norse pagan friend here, Servant of Freya, joining us. And Maple's shy, right? You don't want to be in Discord. Now, what you're doing here, Maple and Ulf, Discord is mostly text. That's what it is. What you're doing here is the same thing. I didn't know if you knew that. The talking part face-to-face is optional. On my Discord, most of the people communicate by doing what we're doing here, chatting, sharing images, and having a good time. That is it, if you're interested. It's no different than what you have here. The great white brother works with Jesus, as far as you know. Let's see here. That's Gnostic position to a lot of people. Yeah, when you say Gnostic, you have to understand that when you look at historical Gnosticism, it is quite diverse. There is no one representative of Gnosticism. It is quite diverse. Gnostic and Contrarian have a lot in common. So much drama in the IBC. What is IBC? I don't know what that offers us grace. I don't believe in grace. The idea is, you don't deserve this, you son of a bitch. I'm going to give it to you anyway. I think that I am worthy, because if I am created, my children are created by me. They are worthy of my love. I don't think this idea that I need to give this to you because you don't deserve it, I think that is bullshit. See, you smoke a lot. You don't accept the church either, Jesus with Jacob, as you call yourself. Yeah. The church is stuck in sin consciousness. Yeah, exactly. So you are a Christian, you do it your own way. Yeah, that's what you do it. Yeah, we have a lot of good Christian people here that you do it your own way, right? Yeah, that's how whatever Jesus was to the world, I think he was like Socrates. He brought a revolution of thinking, of understanding. There wasn't supposed to be a church. The church to me is an invention of the Roman Empire, a way to control and manipulate people. You took out half Oz after dinner? What's going on? Wizard of Oz? Go to the Episcopal churches then. They allow mystics and psychics. What do you mean by that? Now, when you say Episcopal church, the Episcopal churches, they are quite diverse. Episcopal churches are an extension of Anglicanism. They're just like the U.S. version. And within Anglicanism, you have a certain beauty in how they practice their Christianity. You have the high and the low churches, right? And they're not all the same. What you're doing is you're generalizing. You don't like the Episcopal Church, so you are saying they allow mystics and psychics. Go there then. Not all churches are the same. You could say the same thing about the Catholic Church. I mean, the way that churches do their experience is all different. Look at in the Roman Catholic Church, Father James Martin. He is, a champion for the rights of LGBT Christians in Catholicism, right? He's often ridiculed and rejected by a great deal of Catholics. I think what Father Martin is doing is beautiful, but also in vain, because the church is never going to accept diversity. Other Christian churches have, but it's never going to happen. Trinity goes to the lodge. The Lord God will punish you for your sins and send you to eternal damnation if you don't follow his rules, but he loves you. Love this, you son of a bitch. Screw your Lord. Now, what you just shared was a contradiction. You said he loves me, but he's going to torture me for all eternity if I don't do what he wants. That is not love. That is not love. That is not love at all. Not true, bro. That's not true. Sir, that is not the New Testament. The New Testament, sir, it came into being in the 4th century. The Catholic Church went around to many of the books, many of the writings, many of the scriptures, and brought it together and said, this is the Word of God. There was no Word of God before the Catholic Church created it. The New Testament canon was created in the 4th century. The Old Testament canon was the 12th century. They were still writing the Hebrew Bible for 10 centuries after Christ. You don't know what you're talking about. Biblical scholarship is quite extensive in terms of demonstrating how the Bible is a creation of institutions that have a certain narrative that they want to support, and they chose the right books to do that. The idea of a Word of God being in a book is bullshit. Let's see here. Church in the Wild is where I belong. Me too. It is almost spring. I have a little sampling that completes. Oh, for your reefer? The fruit comes naturally. You don't have to try to produce fruit. A tree produces fruit by nature. Yeah, and your nature is good. It is divine. It is wonderful. You are not evil. You might have done evil things, but your nature is wonderful. If you're a Mason, you already know the Bible is not even what it is. It's like a medical text. Yeah, some people interpret it that way. For me, it is a mythology. Let's see here. In Christ you are redeemed. I don't believe in redemption. There's no pissed off God. You cannot prove that I need to be redeemed. You are assuming God is pissed off and that I have forsaken God or my ancestors did. That is all a scam. You cannot prove that God is pissed off and that we need to be redeemed. You're making all of that shit up. Comedic knowledge is in the Bible. What does this background mean? It means stay away, fundamentalists. We are heathens here. This is the cauldron of my goddess Ceridwen. Her symbol, her triskelion, of the Welsh people. And this is a pentangle, another ancient Celtic symbol. I put them up there to scare Christian fundamentalists away because they think it is the devil. Fruit comes naturally, but you don't try to do, you are good by nature of the Holy Spirit. No, you are good because that's what you are. Let's see here. What is my friend saying here? Is it in your belief to think that punishes us without the goal of being reformation, just for sick pleasure, and then to say, oh yeah, but he loves you. Yeah. The God of vengeance, right? He's going to get you. Yeah. Punishment, as our friend here, Sir Flamedrop, the Bud Whisperer. Punishment, if you're a parent, you punish your children to help them to stop sticking their finger in the light socket. You slap Timmy's hand. Don't do that, Timmy. Don't stick the fork in the light socket. It is not good for you to do. It's harmful to you. You don't let Timmy go and stick it in the light socket. That's what a Christian will say. Oh, you chose hell. No, a good parent punishes. Punishment is not torture. Punishment is for the purpose to reform you, to help you to stop doing that behavior that you are doing, right? That if a deity is a father or a mother, their punishment is to help you to be better, to help you to deal with your bullshit. Now, if there is a great judgment after we die, the punishment you will receive is not to destroy you. It is to help you to deal with what you have done so you can heal, so you can be changed, and so you can be better. It is not to torture you for all eternity. That is not a punishment. That is a torture. Let's see here. Let's see. There is no tithe in Christ. What's that? The Bible states you got to pay your 10%. Yeah, pay your 10% here too. Let's see here. Earth Mother. Yeah. He teaches the Bible and the Quran. I don't teach anything. I'm an entertainer. Where does it say in the New Testament 10%? Gospel of Matthew. Jesus says you are to uphold all of the laws. He who teaches other people to do not uphold the laws will be called least in the kingdom of God. Not just the 10 commandments. That's not what Jesus says in Matthew, right? Now, I don't believe Jesus said any of that bullshit, but if you believe the Bible is the word of God, then why aren't you following the laws? You should burn me alive. I'm a witch, right? Let's see here. Where are we at? The world was created by the Demerge, the false god, and demons grant you the materials. Yeah, I think that is bullshit. I don't agree with the Gnostics. I think the world has always been around. It's always been wonderful. The negative parts that we see in the cosmos, like a volcano blowing up and melting us with lava, that chaos, that has to be tamed. That isn't evil. It's just chaos. When you bring order to chaos, something beautiful is made, right? Something wonderful is made out of the chaos. That is the dance. Let's see here. Good morning, William. Nice to have you here. See, I'm about an hour behind in the comments, but I tried to get to everyone here. So please forgive me if I have not responded to you yet. It does take me a while, and I will get to all of them. I have plenty of time to do that. Let's see here. Yeah, YouTube just took away a shitload of my comments away from me. Like, you have too many here. Rodzilla, nice to see you. Negativity spreads so much faster than love. Prostate exam, good to see you. Let's see. In Christ, you are judged, not guilty. Bullshit. There was no guilt. There was no, you cannot prove to me that there's a God pissed off at me. You're making all of that shit up. Theo the Magnus is here. Good to have you here, our friend. Theo the Magnus. The proverbial hot tub got too hot for basking, yeah. Hallelujah, I'm not guilty. No, you're not. You never were. People made that shit up. What you make up your own guilt and shame. God has nothing to do with it. The church is really good at making people, convincing you are guilty, right? You are pissed off the God. Bullshit. Prove it. Prove that I pissed off the God. You can't. I'm pissing off your God now. Look, nothing's happening to me. Look at that, the finger there. Sign of the cross. Remember that? Sign of the cross. Nothing's happening. Your God isn't doing anything, right? He's not pissed off. Let's see. I never found him then. There he goes. Because I'm not doing it his way. I haven't found him. Bullshit. You cannot prove that. You see, you shouldn't judge my heart, sir. If you say you believe in the teachings, look what you're doing. You're being an asshole now. All right. I'm done talking to that fellow. Yeah, once you start being an asshole, the conversation ends for me. Yeah. Let's see. Where am I at here? Sir Flame Drop, nice to have you here. Rodzilla is here. Nobody's basing you on a person's judgment. Cindy. All right. John Gibson, nice to see you. Good to have you here. Let's see here. You lost your mind because you never had one. Telemorph. Yeah. Turbo Christ is here. Good to see you, Turbo Christ. You feel that above all else, while we are here, we're just going to make sure we don't lose control of our soul. John, you woke up on the 23rd of 1992. Let's see here. Was the first message you received from God was spread the word? Yeah. It wasn't for me. My first time I heard a divine person was just, I'm never going to leave you. It had nothing to, I didn't have to do anything about it. There was no strings attached to it. It was just, I'm never going to forsake you, is what the Father said to me. Mine was a year ago. You had an awakening a year ago. I'm glad for being here with all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Rose and Rook. That is Natalie's page there. At Rose and Rook. And let me put it up here. I will pin it for people here who wants to see. Let me find it. Natalie's page. That's old Natalie's page. Let me find it in here. Rose and Rook, right here. I will copy, if you want, Natalie's wonderful page here. Good spiritual wisdom. Rose and Rook, right there. How do I pin that? I'll pin that when I get down to it in the chat. Rose and Rook, right there. Let's see. I'm going to argue anymore with people. Yeah, I'm done talking to him too. Gadriel. Let's see where we at. Derek Henry, nice to see you. Mine came from the goddess. Natalie, yours came from the god. Pure love. Let's see. I say again, if you walk the path of light, the light gods will support you 100%. Yeah. A lie can make it around the world in a second. The truth, however, takes a lifetime. That's a profound saying. Yeah. Let's see here. Banks are named after water. Liquidity Bank of the River Jordan. Underwater floating bank terms. That's not the kind of naming we were talking about. Let's see. Where am I at here? You dreamed last night. It's rare for me with cannabis, Lewis. I dream all the time when I take cannabis. When I take I sleep so deeply. And I do have nice, vivid dreams when I use cannabis. Yeah, I've heard of that. People not being able to dream because of that cannabis. I do. Derek Bendover, man. Good to see you again. Do you believe Revelations, like all of it? None of it at all. No, none of it at all. The book of Revelation was written to a people that were suffering persecution under the evil Caesar Nero. And the references in it had to do with the context of the time. It was meant to give hope to people, to let people know that evil will end. None of it is real. None of it will happen. It was just written to encourage, to inspire people, to keep their faith in the dark time. The stuff in there is not real. God doesn't send devils on the earth to torture people and shit like that. It's all has a symbolic framework. You are a Christian mystic turning into shamanism. Well, that makes me suspect you. When anyone says, I am a mystic, I am this or that, right? Mystics, was a term that some college professor made up to dignify a certain form of literature that has to do with spirituality. Gwendolyn is here, the high priestess of the orchard. Aes Sedai, good to have you here. Let's see here. We walk the path of light, yes. Jesus studied under the Magi. It was taken out of the Bible. No, it wasn't taken out of the Bible. Like I said, the Bible, as you know it, was put together and edited by a certain group of people with an agenda. So it wasn't taken out. There's a reason why they didn't have it in. The idea of them studying under Magi, somebody made that shit all up too. There's no way to prove that. You cannot, everyone wants the Bible to be the way to align with the way they want their God to be. Just let the Bible disappear. It's a terrible book. When Jesus was baptized, the heavens opened, a voice, "This is my son whom I'm well pleased." Yeah, if you want to believe that shit. Let's see here. Come to the cauldron, drink of the hour. Christian fundamentalists, come to the goddess. Receive Ceridwen into your hearts. See here. Yeah, Jesus also studied Buddhism. Can't prove that either. Somebody made that up. Now, anybody can believe whatever they want to believe. They say Jesus went to study with the druids too. That somebody made that stuff up. None of that is historically verifiable, right? The idea that he went to India, somebody made that all up. You can't prove any of that stuff, right? People are free to believe what they want. They'll say, well, the early years of Jesus. You have to understand that the narrative of the New Testament It's designed in a specific way because of an agenda. The real Christ is not the Jesus is not the Jesus of the New Testament. That is a edited and representation of history and facts. It's a mythology. They wanted you to see it in a certain light. Jesus traveling anywhere in the East or up to the British Isles. I mean, there's no way to prove that. And it's really unrealistic that someone would do that, go and study all these places and come back to Jerusalem. It's really unrealistic, and unkosher. The idea that Jesus would go and live with a bunch of the heathen nations and return and be a popular rabbi is unrealistic. But you have all these people, they want to reinterpret it, right? You have all of these legends. Now, could it be true? Anything could be true, right? Harry Potter could be real. I mean, anything's possible. Let's see. You see Jesus as an honorable man and not a god. It makes you think Christians are godless. Yeah. Let's see. Being a decent person is actually kind of important. Yeah, I think so. All of this is touchy. Ooh. Green Knight Tales is here, running around the streets of Toronto in his green hood, bringing justice and peace to all he meets. Green Knight Tales. Yeah, his show is really taking off. I don't know if some of you've seen it. It's getting very popular up there, and up in Toronto there. People like seeing it. They like going on those adventures, right? Through the camera there. You don't want to be touched by nobody. Let's see here. Let's see. Where am I at here? Jesus Christ is your Lord. Good for you. Good for you. Now, where am I at here? I'm trying to find some new conversations here. Chat's going nuts today. It usually is every day, right? The Bible is a story with few facts. Jesus was just a man. He could be. Yeah, we don't know, right? He gives to all without need of being worshipped by carnal hands. What's a carnal hand? When you say carnal hands, what do you mean by that? Now, I'm thinking about, when you say carnal, I'm thinking of that you're touching your penis or something with your hand. What do you mean by that? Carnal hands. Give me an explanation of that. Is the carnal hands. You don't think God likes your hands? Is that what you're saying? That your hands are unworthy of the divine? Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, damn, he's quoting the scriptures. Don't care. I'm just going to ignore you if you quote scriptures. I won't even read your shit. I'm on fire today. What was I not on fire yesterday? Don't you always get to have an experience here? When am I not on fire? When is not the hour not flowing here? Kedidwin's cauldron doesn't run dry here. It is always flowing out. Always flowing out. The technology of belief you can create your own religion or magic systems without rituals, and it will work if you imbue enough of yourself into it. Yeah, I'm certain that there's some truth to that. I certainly believe that you don't need any rituals. You believe in science and nature. Why are they separated? Why do you have to separate them? Science and nature? You like having a brain? Well, Derek, bend over, man. Why are you separating these things? It's unnecessary, right? Our Discord is truly an amazing space. I'm so grateful to grow together with no judgment. Yes. Yeah. We few rules. No politics. No showing us your private parts. real or fake. No arguing. It's real simple on our channel. Do I believe? I'm not even talking to this guy anymore. See. Yeah, Googling the Bible quotes, right? Yeah, I just ignore all that shit. You signed up on the Discord and seem to be on another social media site. You went to the wrong place? Is that what happened? Let's see here. Roman Catholic? No, I am not. I don't go to church. I don't believe in church. You are loved by real people, not spaghetti monsters and sky daddies. Is the flying saucer plate in the sky. Queen Brian, good to see you. Good to have you here again. Hope you're doing well. You believe in Lucifer, the serpent of truth, Azazel in the Kabbalah. Yeah. There's different ways you can interpret that, right? You believe all of this in a different entity of the Satan, the adversary. So you interpret it a different way. It's not a boogeyman for you. How long have you been practicing Queen, the Kabbalah? I'd like to have an expert on the show to tell us about the Kabbalah, because I don't know much about it myself. Let's see here. You read Revelations, so much stuff for you. Praise noodles. Let's see. Yeah, God created sin so he could forgive us. Yeah. He creates the problem. The devil, right? You live in North Carolina? Yeah, that is the land of Oz up there. They have a theme park up there. It's defunct now. Let's see here. The transition I'm excited for is the 5D unlocked. Let's see, where am I at here? All of these people. I'm trying to catch up. I know I'm about 30 minutes behind. If you had $1 for every time a fundamentalist or born again called you a demon, you'd be rich. Yeah, I'd be a millionaire too. Every day, right? Let's see, where am I at here? Jesus is more of an angel bound to human body than a god, in your opinion? The prophet Muhammad is in here. Oh my goodness. He's trying to convert us to Islam. No, thank you. Not interested. He's warning me now. Screw your God. I'm not going to convert to your religion. Screw your version of God. I reject your God, Prophet of Muhammad. Right there, to your deity. You see, nothing is going to happen to me. I reject your God. Let's see here. You have an encounter with Satan. Good. Is that a picture of Muhammad? Oh, yeah, that's not allowed, is it? He has a picture of Muhammad in his little. He's probably new to Islam, and he's going around trying to convert everybody to it. You're not supposed to have images in Islam of the Prophet. You need to go to your mosque and get educated. You can't be doing that shit. Let's see. Where are we at here? You enjoy the Pentangle up here? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. It gives you good energy. Let's see. What if I told you was born where? I punish Aisha? What the hell does that mean? And some crazy ass Muslim in here. Now, we have good Muslim friends that come on the program that aren't like this. And we have good Christian friends that come on here that aren't like these other sons of bitches, right? Everyone has assholes in their religion. Like Mike here. He's always bitching about religion. He comes on here and bitches about it. I just ignore him too. Let's see here. Scrolling. God creates evil, then expects everyone to be good. Yeah, it says that in the Bible. Yeah. XEX, good to see you. Good to have you here. That's a pentagram? No, a pentangle. Pentangle. That it's a traditional Celtic symbol. That's what it is. Let's see. My old lady is a Wiccan. She rubs off on me. She laughed when I brought up Satan and said he's a pesky little bugger. Yeah. Let's see, where are we at here? Give to Caesar what unto Caesar. Oh no. Yeah, give to spiritual entertainment. Yes. Damn. We do what we can, right, to get the fundamentalism out of here. But it always, I'm going to cut through some of these comments here because I know that I'm way the hell far behind. I'm going to try to, because once the fundamentalists, they get on here, they start talking. Yeah, I get so far behind in the conversation of trying to convert everybody here. All right, where am I at here? A few people have come over to your stream from here. It's great to see familiar faces. Yeah, you have a nice stream. You have a nice stream. Let's see here. Gadriel, the only person who knows what a Christian is Jesus himself. 33 degrees in Kundalini. Yeah, I don't know much about that either. Yeah. Let's see. Who eats babies? What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking? It sounds perverse. Oh, damn. Yeah, everything about Jesus' claims have been copied and rewritten for centuries. Harry Potter will be seen as a savior in 2000. And Harry Potter is more reliable than the Bible. I mean, we know its purpose. We know its potential. We know that there's no agenda with it. It is what it is, right? The Bible, they had to keep editing it for their agendas that they had. Like, oh shit, we missed that. Let me reinterpret that right there. Harvey, who is huge, is here. Huge Harvey, nice to see you. You believe in all of humanity being judged as good because of God dying in the whole world? It largely goes to Origin saying so and back. So you like the church father Origin, right? He kind of got screwed. Like 400 years after his death, he becomes a heretic, right? Shameful. Let's see. Where are we at here? I am a real supporter of Temu edition of Steely Dan. So they have Steely Dan's on Temu. Look at that. They're branching out in their diversity of their presentations, the Steely Dan. Jesus plays Kidditch and makes winning shot every time. Oh my goodness. Let's see. People like Ted Nugent and Elon Musk are false prophets. Oh my goodness. I get called a devil most days. Yeah, join the club here. I'm a devil every day with some of our fundamentalist friends here. One day I'm just going to start growing horns out of my head. I've been a devil, every day I get an exorcism. Let's see. Damn. Let's see. It's amazing how many gods can do anything about the bard talking shit to them. Yeah. Screw your gods. I will not bow to them. I will not follow them. I'm not interested in your gods. Kedadwin is all I need. And she doesn't give a shit of what I do. She appreciates me and loves me. I don't have to do anything. Kedadwin's cauldron is always here. I don't have to do anything for it. Let's see, where are we at? Is that the triskelion of Muhammad? Look at that. Oh, man. Let's see. Tell him, Vixen. Tell him. All the wars and destroyed cultures. Vixen is onto you. Why aren't you responding to Vixen? She has made a claim there. Why can't you give? What kind of excuses are you going to tell Vixen now? Let's see, where am I at here? Astora is the only way forward for the West. Yeah, probably. The devil is a pervert? Okay. Oh. Jesus taught you to wash your feet. Oh my goodness, here. Where have I gone in these comments here? Trying to catch up to you. I lost Natalie's. I wanted to pin Natalie's thing on here. Let me put it back in here again. There. Now I can pin it. I'm going to pin Natalie's. Natalie has wonderful messages on the morning of encouragement, based on the energies of the day. If you are interested in astrology and card readings, in divination, reading of energies, Reiki power. Natalie's got a nice little channel there that I put in the pin. Let's see here. Working another late night, friends. Wish me luck. I'm thinking of sometimes streaming the process just for fun. That would be fun to do. I think that there are people who enjoy watching people put shit together on YouTube. And, I would do that. Sir Flame Drop. Start your own YouTube channel. Call yourself the jeweler or something like that. And do live streams and show people how you make stuff. And that might be good for your business, right? What do you got to lose, really? Give it a try. Now, the difficulty you have with the live streaming is you have to develop, you have to have at least 50 people on your channel. Then you have to wait about a month for YouTube to recognize that they're human beings, not robots. But you could put out YouTube shorts about how you're making shit, and you can do videos of this is how you put this together, or this. I think you would get, that would be very popular, right? I think you should try that. That would be a wonderful, what do you got? It would be good for your business too. You can advertise through it. You have a website probably, right? You could put it on your website. You could say, look what I made here, and put it on YouTube. So people who are interested in your products can see the process of how you put things together. That might be a really good idea for you to do. And you already have followers here. We can all go to your channel and like it, right? All your friends here in our Discord community. Willow and Phil eating the cabbage soup again, right? Let's see here. No, God says that he created good and created evil. It does say that in the book of Isaiah. Yeah, double tap, everyone. Yeah. Go to the Greek, bro. I did. Now, that verse in Isaiah, the context of it is the idea of evil is really chaos. So the translation is really what takes it, where it says that God creates good and evil. It's calamity. It is chaos. Like, you have to think of that verse as God making a volcano, right? That's the context of it. The way that it is interpreted is probably not the best. Millie, our expert herbalist, is here. Millie Starr. I love it when you film from the beautiful grove. Just be careful of the wild boar. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a few there. More videos, more druidry videos, at least one a month. and then live streams like we did last night. We did a live stream there. We started out with a meditation on the element of water, and then I went and sat down in my traditional place of meditation. The lighting was beautiful yesterday. I was watching my video. It almost doesn't look real. The way the lighting was and the background, it was like a green screen almost. It was like, this is like perfect, the way that everything was coming together. Yeah, let's see here. Where are we at? Ganon, oh man. Old pig face himself. I remember the first time I killed Ganon. I was in 6th grade. I skipped school to play The Legend of Zelda. I'm like, I'm going to do this today. You know, it took me about 8 hours. I finally make it to Ganon, you know, going through the dungeon. I think I didn't get it first. I didn't know how to do it. This was back when you didn't have a lot of tips. You didn't have the internet, when video games were hard. So trying different things and trying to destroy him. It was a lot of fun. Let's see here. You think the Bible is for chakras? See, this person is really trying to. Do you understand Jesus with Jacob? That most people don't, they're not interested in your religion. I mean, you keep trying to prove things in vain. No one cares. Most people they're not interested in your religion here. I mean, I'm not talking to you anymore. Once you started acting like an asshole, I'm like, well, I'm done trying to respond to him. I don't know. People are, you know, just responding to you for whatever reasons, but you're not making any converts here. LMAO. Jask. Let's see here. Trying to catch up here to you. At least we don't have that many Christians using scare tactics. Imagine if I told you that Zeus was going to strike you with thunder. Receive Zeus into your life before the lightning bolt touches your ass. Let's see here. Goliath thought the same. What does Goliath have to do anything? How do you know anything about Goliath? I mean, did he write a memoir? The Life and Times of a Giant. Did you read his memoirs or something? The Lost Bible of Goliath. Let's see here. Dude, get the Teen Wolfpack mark, calling it a god? What's the Teen Wolfpack mark? I don't know what the hell that is. You're a demon, right? Oh, shoot. Let me see where I'm at here. Trying to catch up to you. Lot of fundamentalism here today. Satan knows the Bible better than anyone. Yeah, he wrote it. Okay. This is devil worship shit. Then leave, dumbass. Why are you here if it is devil worship shit? I mean, if I walked into a bunch of people worshiping a devil, I would leave. Why are you here? I mean, you just help. If you think this is devil worship, you're supporting the algorithm. You're making more people experience the devil. So don't you understand that you are in contradiction? Or you just want to hear yourself talk? Let's see here. Oh, my goodness. They think life came from nothing, or we came from monkeys. Who is they? Who is they? Who are you addressing here? You just thinking we're all the same people here, think the same? That we're a bunch of robots? Life formed randomly. It wasn't intentional, intelligent, designed. Yeah, there's no way to prove that either, Green Knight. That is a scientific assumption, a theory, right? We don't know. We don't know. We could have always been around. Maybe we came from another world. We landed here on comets or something. You know, we could have. The oldest Homo sapien we have is what, 300,000 years old. I mean, that's all we got to go on. We don't know where we came from, or if someone formed us, a higher life form, an interdimensional being. You know, we can all speculate on it, but to be definitive about an idea that you have no evidence for is an act of faith. Um, let's see, where are we at here? Thoughts on what you said? You think Jesus was sent from the Godhead to Yahweh to create the body and inseminate a person? So he's like a sexual thing screwing other people? No, I don't believe that. Let's see, yeah. What's wrong with having and this understanding of life uh, being something guided? I don't think of this. Why would anyone be opposed to that ELP? Why would you be opposed to that? Why not be open to it? We guide life. Why can't something else guide us? I mean, it makes sense to me why there would be a guidance. You know, the earth to me as mother is a guide and develop. There was a time, my son, he's a scientist, and he was telling me about there's been periods in the history of the earth where all life has been sanitized on the surface. And he says, we come from the earth, we come from within it. There's been biomes that have been discovered. And in these biomes, everything proceeds out of it. You know, think of the earth as a mother, a reality, a living reality that has purpose, that does guide. The understanding of nature being a real mother. You know, when I hear that word natural selection, I mean, it's just like, who is doing the selecting? Why can't Mother Earth be selecting? Why can't Mother Earth be guiding as an entity? I mean, it's all open to theory, right? It's all open to theory. I don't know why people are opposed to the idea. When someone is against intelligent design, you're really against the Christians and their bullshit. If you take their bullshit out of the equation and really look at it scientifically in terms of the development of anything, the complexity of a species, you know, the idea that something can be guided, I think is appropriate. As you know, that's how I understand it. Let's see, where are we at? The world is being created right now, and we are co-creating it. Yeah, we are guiding the cosmos, right? If we are doing that, that is what? Intelligent design. What if we have always been doing that? We've always been coming back. Or what if what we know of humanity has always been around? These are things that go through my mind. And I know that it's all theory. To insist that you are right, you stop the conversation, right? To say that it must be this only way. The modern conversation in science with religion is one side says it must be this way or it must be that way. It is it's a conversation that goes nowhere. People draw lines in the sand, is what happens. They create their base, they create their camp, and then there's no more conversation. There's no more developing. You just choose to stay in one spot. You're way too insane not to be created, man. and created you by indoctrination. Yeah. Willow and Phil. Now you come on here all the time, and your comedy stinks. I mean, you're not funny. Talking about passing gas and shit and eating cabbage. You got to come up with some new material if you're going to troll my channel. I mean, you're not funny. You're welcome to be here. If you're going to troll, get some better material. I mean, you sound like you're 12 years old with some of this shit you talk about every day on here. Let's see here. We came about through trial and error, natural selection, not intelligent design. Yeah, you can't prove that. That's a theory, right? Let's see. It was beautifully aesthetic. Yeah. All right, where are we at here? Theo. Goodbye, Theo. Take care of yourself. Appreciate you stopping in. It was such a beautiful video last night in many ways. I'm grateful I could be present for it. Thank you, Bard. You're welcome. I'm glad that you found joy in the experience of my grove. It is a place of healing. It is a place of transformation. Going to my grove is, like returning to the womb. I feel refreshed. I feel renewed. I'm glad that I could take people to this experience, right? Someone created us. It's a being we can't even fathom. And to claim you understand its will is just vanity. It is. It is. It is vanity to also claim that there is no entities at all that are out there. That is also vanity. Let's see here. Hello, Lime. Nice to see you. Good to see you. Good to have you here. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. We're having trying to figure out some of these comments here. There's one person I don't even bother talking to him anymore because he's rude. He's being an asshole with his religion. Imagine Christians seeing their childish God constantly in endless eternity of whining and babbling. Yep. A big bitch in the sky. Yep. You remember? Good. It's good to have a memory here. Oh, shit. Where am I at here? Trying to catch up. Let's see. Where am I at? All these people here. I know that I'm still far behind. Okay, there I am. I don't know if I had a ritual scheduled prayer. You do Cherokee stuff. You do the Cherokee stuff. Let's see here. Know thy enemy? Yeah, okay. Is that why you're here? We are the enemy? Now, what am I doing that's harmful to you if I am your enemy? All I'm doing is talking to people, sharing my opinions. Other people have opinions on here. I think it's wonderful to be able to have a conversation with people. Why is that the enemy? When someone has a different opinion. Now, there's opinions on here that I don't agree with. I'm not making the other person. Like Green Knight, he's a person on our channel all the time. I had a different opinion than him. He's not my enemy. We just have a different opinion. Why do I have to be your enemy? Why can't I just have an opinion that is different than you, right? I don't agree with everyone on here. We have different opinions. Why can't we just have opinions? What's the difference between a regular and inverted pentagram, Lord Bard? Well, I think it has to do with energy, dark and light energy. That's how I understood it. But I could be wrong. Maybe do you know the answer? Do you have an answer to that? Deity Pudding, nice to see you. Good to have you here. Yobot, actually, science has proven that abiogenesis is likely cause of life on Earth. Likely. That's the you cannot. No one was around. Um, we can have all of these theories. Our science continues to improve. It continues to get better. But that is not. When you say likely, that is not a truth. Likely is not a truth. It's a good idea. Yeah. So there is no definitive proof that there is a natural selection that is void of any reason behind it. Moroccan flag star, yeah, go Morocco, yeah, Team Morocco. We want you to win the football championship this year. Let's see here. Christians live in a cage. Bard, a true question: is AI taking all of our jobs? It's taking a lot of your jobs, yes. Where I used to work, I used to work at the Walmart distribution center, about 20 years ago, and I have a friend that still works there, and he was telling me that most of the jobs in this place, in the distribution center, is now AI, robots and shit, that is sending your groceries to your local store, has replaced the manpower. So yes, the future. If you are looking right now, if you are in school, you need to think about that. As my job will be replaced. My wife, she works in insurance. In 20 years, she is not going to have a job. I mean, she's going to retire by then. But all of these, there's many service jobs will be replaced. Many jobs are being taken over by artificial intelligence. So you should be concerned about it. My son, he is graduating, is into the sciences. He is going to use artificial intelligence to make pharmaceuticals. He's getting into that. That is the future. One of the things that will not fully be replaced by AI is religion, religious work. I mean, you can't have like a robot conduct your funeral. That would be inappropriate. But on the other side of that, I saw in a Buddhist temple a robot leading the chant, and I thought that was bad. I don't like that. I don't have a problem with AI and using it, but that I think that was that is artificial to me when you have something replace what a person should be doing. There's some things the AI cannot be personable yet at that level, where it has being, where it could share itself with you. Is it possible for it to reach that state? Certainly, with the expansion of human consciousness into the machine, it is possible. And eventually we're going to get there, I believe. Let's see. Where am I at here? The amount of evidence for God is astronomical. Where is it? You're making all of that shit up, right? It depends on how you want to define what a divinity is, right? You make assumptions, right? You are making there's no way with our technology and our sciences to come to a definitive agreement on what a deity is. It is. We don't have those resources yet. Will we in the future? Certainly. We are not there yet, but I'm certainly hopeful for the possibility to be able to demonstrate the reality of greater beings in the cosmos. We are not there yet. But the idea of evidence, there is no evidence the way that you're saying it is. Let's see. Pick a character, play it authentically. Yeah. We knew there are other hominids. Yeah, there's like 20 different types of hominids, right? That we have found. Isn't that? And we're all that's left of humanity. We're all that's left. All these other hominids are gone. We weren't the only human being that has been here. Isn't that wonderful, right? That we've had other beings like us, but different, that were of intelligence, right? That existed before us. They have evolved from many that we have evolved from. Now, the idea of evolved from, we have not, there is no evolving from another hominid. There's no evidence for these other kinds of hominids that we have found. The idea of them being a cousin or something like that. We have not evolved from it. We have not evolved from the Neanderthal. That is a cousin. There is no lesser being, like the understanding of the missing link in the terms of the evolutionary pattern. Where is it, right? You have different hominids. Like they used to believe we came from Neanderthals until we were able to use DNA testing. And like, no, the Neanderthals, another form of humanity, not us. We didn't come from Neanderthals. You have to be very careful when you are. A lot of this scientism is a response to Christian claims. When you're stuck in scientism, you don't think critically about the world. You have a certain mentality that is anti-creationism, anti-claims of this. And when you are stuck in an anti-anything, you stay there. True science should be open to exploring the idea of interdimensional realities, greater beings. I mean, there's plenty, like he said, that one gentleman said, there's evidence for God. Well, in essence, in terms of human experience, there's plenty of evidence that humans have responded to greater beings, greater presences, greater realities. I mean, there's people who leave their whole life behind to commit to this experience. There's a story there. Let's see here. That would be incest. Oh, shit. Where am I at here? Scrolling through here. Keradwin, bless you. Yes. That's awesome, Jacob. Love can heal a lot. Yeah. We have Jew, Christians, and Muslims living in harmony. Yeah. Let's go to the Grove today. Not today. I went yesterday. Tonight I will be on here. No Grove today, unfortunately. You want to go to the Grove? I put some videos up. I put my Grove meditation up. I cut that out of our live stream and put that up for your entertainment privilege. People develop their own perspectives of what any symbols means for good or evil. Yes, certainly. A creator, especially who worded as intelligently designed, is just too far-fetched for me to believe. There are things that with the human body which would suggest we are not designed intelligently. Yeah, you can go both ways with that, right? But what you're doing, if you have to look at your intention behind your comment, you are responding to Christianity. You are not being scientific. You are being apologetic. This is apologetics, scientism. You are stuck in one mode of thinking as a response to this other stuff. That's what you're doing. Your real problem is with the Christian claim. You're not truly against the idea of design, of guidance, of intelligence operating within the cosmos. You are really against that, right? Now, it's understandable why people are. I mean, because a lot of it's bullshit. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Let's see. I am not opposed to the idea of something guiding our evolution, from early hominids to species we are today, but it's subtle enough to look natural. Evolution could be a tool of creation. Yeah. In my point of view, how I understand it, is there's never like a point where a being says, "Okay, I want to make some shit." I understand the cosmos as always being here. That this idea of guidance, it has always been happening. There's always been beings making stuff, being guided, developing, changing, transforming. There's never like a point zero. It is just as there's always been energy and matter and big bangs, there's always been intelligence within that experience. There's never not been like something that has not been a part of the mystery, of the beauty of how we experience the world. Let's see here. Where am I? Just see scrolling through here. Wow, he just can't give up with his fundamentalism here. Look at that. It's too much for me to explain here, as the comments aren't large enough. However, there are things with our bodies that would lead us to believe we have not been designed. Yeah, or we have been poorly. Yeah, well, that's how you want to understand. And a machine would make something perfectly in a certain way. You know, if you think of your like a work of art, a canvas, the beauty of the canvas, is it perfect the way the colors are on the paper? They could be aligned better. The lighting would always be better, in a work of art, right? It depends on how you want to understand intelligence and design, in terms of constructed poorly, right? It's how you want to interpret that, right? What you're doing, just reading your comment there, you are contrasting the Christian idea of an all-powerful, all-knowing, all great and wonderful being that's supposed to make everything wonderful and great. That's how you are. You might not be doing that consciously, but subconsciously you're responding to it with that comment. You're responding to a Christian claim again. See, you're stuck in this mode of thinking, and it is a mode that responds to the Christian claims. Let's see here. Where am I at? Cyber Ninja John, good to see you. Yes, I am handsome to you. You want to be my lover. It happens all the time on here. There's always people falling in love with the Bard. This is an 18 plus stream, yeah. If you are underage, please leave. We don't want you here. There's people who talk about their penises and stuff on here, and vaginas and everything, and both. Some people have both, and they do strange things to them. This is not for children here. We don't want you here. If you are a child, please leave. You are not welcome. Go away. Line. Let's see here. You're talking. Yeah, if you are here, like and subscribe. Go up and give that a touch. I appreciate people that can do that. I do this for a living, and I thank you for your support. Oh, sparkling ice keeps the voice going here. Always talking. Think about that. I talk on here for like every day. I do 6 hours talking minimum. Isn't that something? I'm always talking. So I got to keep my pipes watered with sparkling ice. Let's see. I mean, evolution sort of proves natural selection. Does it? Does it really? Not to believe in natural selection would also mean not to believe in evolution. Yeah, it is framed to you and packaged in a certain context, right? I'm not against the idea. But for me, the natural part is Mother Earth. She is a living reality. She guides. See here, but everyone's free to believe what you want here. I'm just saying a lot of these comments, the evolution creation narrative is really because of Christianity, and you people get stuck in the same spot. You dig your heels in the sand and demand adherence to theories, not facts. I mean, it can make as much sense as you want it to be, really, but you're only doing it to respond to another argument, rather than seeking it as a pure scientific explanation. You are responding rather than seeking. Let's see here. Man, this Jesus Jacob person, he's a real nutcase. Yeah. Where am I at here? Shit. Let's see. Where are we at here? Nietzsche said that all statements are interpretations, but they are reality. Look at you quoting Nietzsche. Don't you love it when Christian fundamentalists, they'll go to like an atheist or something and quote it to justify their beliefs, but then they'll disregard the rest of what they say. Poor Mordecai. Biblical Testicles is here to educate us about Christianity. God bless you, brother. Thank you. I suppose anything that exists is a much higher plane of existence would constitute a deity. But no, I don't actually know for certain how to classify that. Yeah. I mean, some modern day humans have Neanderthal DNA. That means we have bred and evolved together. Yeah. The breeding with other species and their DNA is evidence of an evolution. I guess you could make certainly that the case for that. But they existed alongside of us. We did not come from them, is what I was saying. That was a belief at one time, that was what evolution taught, that we came from the Neanderthals. All of these skeletal things that you see in the museum at display of human evolution, it was inaccurate. It was an inaccurate demonstration. Even like some of the early people promoting this connection would go to like people, the Aborigines, and use their skeletons, and some of it got into real racist stuff at times as well. But we don't have this missing link. We don't have this definitive connection to a lesser life form. We have other humanoids that are like us, but there is no this lesser life form that we came from. We don't have that evidence. Let's see here. Hindu gods. Thankfully, our forefathers and ancestors seem to know and did the hard work for us. That's how you understand it. You find the Hindu gods absolutely fascinating. I really do want to visit India one day and see their temples. But they have temples all around the world. There's probably a local one by you over there in Canada somewhere. You could find a Hindu temple. They are beautiful. Some of the Hindu temples that have made. First time I went to a Hindu temple was when I was, I think I was 18 or 19 years old. And my girlfriend at the time was in a religion class where they were required to go and visit all of these places. And so I went with her to all of these places. Beautiful place. The church has so many scientific advancements. Not really. Not really. You have your ass projecting on biblical testicles. The church also led to the Dark Ages. There are Joe greater beings, only the triune God. Prove it. Prove that there is a triune God. You can't. Somebody made that shit up. Let's see here. We were created by beings that didn't love us at times. Yeah, Lewis believes we come from giants. You know, how does that make you feel if you're just a byproduct of some being, right, that didn't care about you? I mean, it's a terrible. It can lead people to feel really bad about their life, right? I like the analogy of a color scale from blue to green. Can you point to the exact point that blue becomes green? That's the missing link. Yeah, you see it as the hues there. Well, where did the green and where did the blue begin and end? Father Bard, I'm quite sure that evolution of humans has been proven well. Yeah, I have no problem with it. I believe in evolution. I don't believe in primordial soup. We can see something these different hominids have over the time. Hominids walk more upright. The bones gradually changed. Yeah, there's a lot of what hominids are you talking about, right? I mean, these hominids that we have found, they are like us, and some of them are, quite primitive compared to Homo sapien. But there's no like, where were we at before? We don't have that. Yeah, I see the world is evolving. I see things getting better, things developing. Yeah, I've never said I didn't believe in evolution. I'm just, the way that people present it, you have to ask yourself, why do you believe it in that way? What is the reason behind you rejecting the idea of being guided? It's a response to Christianity, is what these people that are into scientism, it's a response to religion. That's what it is. And I think that is unhealthy. What are the lies here? Galileo was put under the hose and arrested by the church. Yeah. Forced to renounce his things. Yeah. The complexity of the human body cannot be an accident. Yeah, I don't believe it is. I certainly don't believe it is. There's no reason why, your science and understanding where we come from is not compatible with the understanding of greater beings at work in the cosmos. I don't have a problem with that. My claim there is entirely scientific, intelligent design would imply we are designed intelligently. There are parts of the human body that are useless and unnecessary. They could say the same thing about mosquitoes, right? And until you start looking at the complexity and the use of the mosquito and how it feeds a fish, and a fish feeds a bird, and the bird feeds you, it's only unnecessary until you really have the tools to understand the complexity of the unnecessariness. Is it unnecessary to take a shit? You might think so, right? But what happens to your byproduct It goes into the earth and it brings life. It nurtures something that is able to continue this process of the world that we live in, right? The way that you're thinking about stuff, you are thinking specifically in response. Now, maybe you don't want to admit it. You haven't thought critically about why you think critically about this understanding. You are doing it in response to the claims of Christianity. Let's see here. I'm open to the idea of higher power starting evolution. To say that we are designed intelligently is against our biological understanding, of the body. There you are again. You are assuming a certain way of thinking about yourself is the ultimate way to think about things. Let's see here. I don't really reject the idea that evolution may have guided, only that humanity has not evolved over time and physically changed drastically. Yeah, we're much better off today than ever before, right? Let's see here. You could see how people get real passionate about that idea. Why do people get very passionate about certain ideas? Why do you think you have to insist that your way of understanding it is the only way? Why do you think we are like that? You have this other person in the chat here insisting that we are intelligently designed. Don't you see that you people have been manipulated in some way by certain forces that want you to think differently about other human beings, that want you to be divided from them? Why can't you just listen to people and their way of things and think about it? Instead of having to draw a line in the sand, say it must be this way, right? Like some of you assumed that I did not believe in evolution by my conversation. You assumed that I did not accept it, right? Because you are trained to think a certain way. There was someone with an agenda that brought you into the way that you want to insist that it must be this way. Think about that for a moment. Why must it be a certain way? Let's see here. Why can evolution be a feature and not a bug? Yeah. Let's see, where am I at here? Yeah, see, everyone wants to draw lines in the sand now in the chat and take side and cheer on one side or the other. You see how unnecessary it is? You've been trained to think that way. Some of you are getting pissed off about this. Have I got pissed off? I'm only presenting ideas because I think about these things. I'm not here to promote an agenda. But some of you have been infected by agendas. I know what that's like because I have been infected by agendas. I'm just trying to help you to think differently about the world. You don't have to have a response where you draw a line in the sand. You could say, oh, that's interesting, big deal. I like the way that this is here. That's fine, Just think about that for a moment. You might be getting pissed off by the fact that I've said that you've been affected by an agenda. Why? You say, okay, well, if he's right, no big deal. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Why do you have to draw lines in the sand? Why does my audience here have to be divided and cheer one another on? I'm for you, or I'm for you, brother or sister. You've all been affected by an agenda. Let's see here. God filled the earth with creatures before man got here. Yeah, I don't look at the Bible as an authority on the foundation of the cosmos. It is a mythology. Where are we at? It was always a big bang, never a little one. Yeah, how I understand cosmology is there's been lots of bangs. It's always been happening. Ryan, good to see you. I have a small corrupt mind. Yeah, okay. You've been affected by an agenda. That's why you think that way about me. I have an opinion. I'm talking about it. We're having a conversation. And you're getting pissed off about an opinion that tells me that you are being controlled by a force, a power in this world that wants you to get pissed off at me. I haven't done anything wrong. I've been courteous. I've been very casual in my responses. I have not insisted. I'm just having a conversation. That is it. Let's see here. You like the music here, Lime? Empowering words, we're welcoming spiritual guidance. You are redeemed, you are relieved. Would you just take a shit? I like how I feel when I'm here. Well, I'm glad I bring you relief. I'm glad I'm able to help you achieve that in this life. Glad you are here, Lime. Small-minded because you disagree? Since when is your perspective the measurement of all logic? Yeah, exactly. Right. Love nurtures, it doesn't rip you out of your roots. Yeah. Good man on telling the kids to bail. What's the symbol of the cauldron? That is the triskelion of Ceridwen. That's what it is. The Welsh triskelion. That is the symbol of the cauldron there. Autumn. Nice to see you, Autumn. Good to have you here. I don't agree that all claims of evolution stem from a conscious or subconscious battle against creationism. Some of the first proponents of the theory of evolution were even Christians. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. Why are you feeling challenged where you must, be definitive about an idea, right? Let's see here. Yeah, if in the Catholic Church, the Pope John Paul II taught evolution. I mean, it's in the Catechism of the Catholic Church as an accepted idea about the world. I mean, most of the Christians that have a problem with it are like Protestant fundamentalists, like the Baptist Church, who interpret the Bible as 6,000 years old. But if you go into the Catholic Church, evolution is not a big deal. When I was getting educated at Catholic schools, they all teach evolution. I mean, it's not a big deal to me. I'm responding to the fact that people in the audience, you're getting frustrated with the idea. And you shouldn't. Let's see here. Where am I at here? Where am I at? Scrolling through. Where did I go here? Where am I going? Where am I going? Trying to get through some of this. I subbed, bro. I've got a track playing. Oh my. Sam is here. Good to have you here. Where am I going here? To be honest, all my examples have been made from my background in biology. Yeah, that's my son's background. He still goes to church. He's Catholic still. He's heavy into the biology. When he starts talking to me, I'm like, I need like a translator. He keeps telling me all this stuff. I mean, you don't have to quote your background. I mean, there's no need for it. We all have opinions here. And that's what's important, is that we're sharing. We are sharing here. There's no need to justify anyone. If you feel you're needing to justify yourself here, I am not trying to make you defend yourself. I'm having an opinion. That's all I'm doing. Nobody needs to defend themselves here. I have not insisted on anything. I don't care what people believe in about the world. I'm not insisting on anyone. Let's see here. Where am I at here? Yeah, we got all these people going to your channel, Natalie. Look at that. We're going to bump up Natalie's channel today. Do you know the pentagon is the center of the star? Oh, yeah, look at that. I didn't notice that. Thank you. Oh, where are we at here? You make rap beats? That sounds like fun. We murder more children in our society than ever lived. Not really. That's something you Christian fundamentalists like to make up and exaggerate about. In the old world, we killed a lot more of our population than we do now. You're talking about abortion, is what you're doing. Let's see here. We all have heard of views and we choose the truth. What is truth? What do you mean choose the truth? Let's see here. Where am I at here? Scrolling through. I think people are sick and tired of negativity and instinctively know there's a better way than fundamental Christianity. Yeah, you're right, right? Let's see. Yeah. Natalie's got a good channel. Yeah. How was the Grove this morning? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Your only Janet is getting you to like the stream. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn has been a great support of the channel here. We appreciate you. And Gwendolyn likes to educate me all the time. Gwendolyn is a scientist. Environmental sciences, right? Gwendolyn likes to educate me as well about lots of stuff. I appreciate Gwendolyn educating me. I'm willing to be educated by people. I'm willing to learn about things from other people. I have not arrived. I'm still learning. Let's see. You get passionate about evolution because, to me, denying that we have evolved from other creatures denies hordes of beautiful science and research. I'm going to contradict you, Sir Flame Drop, my brother. And you get passionate about this because you've been taught to do that by someone with an agenda. There's no reason to get passionate about a scientific theory. It's a theory. It's helpful in explaining our origins, but there's no reason to get a sword out for it and demand that it must be this way. It's a theory, right? I think that you've been trained to think that way, not on purpose, but because of experiences in life. And this is a big thing that happens in the world with this. I remember one time I had this, when I was a Christian, I told this other person that I believe in evolution, and they were getting very upset about it. They're like, well, I believe in the Bible. I understand what you believe. They started getting upset. I'm like, at the time I believed in the Bible. I just don't interpret it the way that you do. The person was getting mad about it. The unneeded violence about something that was, I told him, it's just a theory. I mean, there might be a better theory of the origins of humanity out there that I'm open to. I didn't need to fight him. I didn't need to get into a long conversation and get frustrated with it because I understood it's just a theory of our humanity. It's the best one we got. Evolution is the best theory that we have. There is no better one. The idea of being created by a being, we don't have the evidence for that. We have more evidence for that we have evolved than being created by a being. And that has become like a big issue in the world today, where people get very passionate about it. And I believe because you've been trained to do that. There are powers at work in the world. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if someone unsubscribed, just talking about these things and getting mad at me. And I haven't raised my voice. I'm just casually having a conversation with people. Let's see here. Tell them, Lewis. Where are we at? Let's see. How would you all start your days? Yeah. Natalie is trying to have conversations with people who are just going out of their way to be fundamentalist. Yeah. Cheering sports team. Yeah. I'm not mad or anything. Really. It's just consequential. Yeah. I didn't think you were. I don't think you were mad. But there's a reason why you're passionate. Right? The passion comes from a certain place. And I think for some people to be passionate about that is really in vain. Why are you passionate about something that is just a theory? I mean, there's no need to get all worked up, right, with the passion. Oh, let's see here. You wake up and you smoke a cigarette this morning. You ran to the bathroom for your bowel movement, Sam. Deb Richardson is here. Down under Debbie. Good to see you, Deb. Nice to have you here for your spiritual entertainment in the morning here. Let's see. Where are we at? Scrolling through. Where am I at here? I listen to dark music, but it's new. Used to pump coffee and rush out. Oh, let's see. When I get to the bottom of the comments, we're going to call it a day. I know that I'm a little bit far out. Breaking Ben James Buttons. Hello, fornicators. Yes. I've been fornicating all morning until you got here. Let's see here. Take just one species of birds. Lauren, nice to see you. 3.8 trillion metric tons of poop per week. Chewing gum for the brain. Yeah, the world is full of shit at times, right? Let's see here. You get spiritual entertainment? Yeah, you should be sleeping right now. Why aren't you sleeping, Debbie? You should be sleeping. You've come here you get up in the middle of the night for a fix of entertainment. Oh, man. You work from home now, Ryan? Let's see. Just how I'm not mad at anyone believing otherwise, as long as their ideas aren't causing harm. The stances aren't consequences, so it's all fine. It's pleasant to exchange ideas on it. Yeah. Let's see here. There could be your connection time. Admiring the sensations of gratitude. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's see. We ruined the comments. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that one person, he was on here for most of the morning whining, right? I just stopped talking to him when he started being an asshole. I'm like, well, I'm done. We evolved separately from Neanderthals and the Denisovians from a common ancestors, Homo erectus, that we also commingled and interbred with other hominids. Did you ever see that? I think it was last year. They found another one, Dragon Man, over there in Asia. Dragon Man. He had this really weird looking head that they found over there. They keep finding these things, right? These various kinds of hominids, right? I remember I was watching a documentary. They found these little tiny people, maybe about 4 foot, that would bury their dead. They would crawl down through this cavern and bury their dead in a crevice in the earth. And they reshaped them with AI, and they didn't look anything like we do. I mean, they looked more like an ape. I mean, it was pretty amazing that they had culture, that they, were able to bury their dead. I mean, it's interesting. what we're learning about other beings that lived with us in this world. Let's see here. Neanderthals and Homo sapiens came from Homo erectus. Let's see here. Where am I at? Where am I? Monad is God. Deities are in fact not real. Even Jesus was a deity. Yeah, we can all assume whatever we want about deities, right? I'm speculating just as much as anyone else. Let's see here. Where we at? In a passion, much good you may do, but no good a passion is in you. Oh my, he's getting poetic on us. The new moon, Cosmos, nice to see you. The new moon coming the 17th. Take your non-spiritual friends to a hill. May your skies be clear and your mind open. The 17th is the new moon. You got to get all your stuff ready to be energized, all your spell work there. You worked in R&D, and science fundamentalism is a real phenomena. It's similar to Christian fundamentalism to me. Yeah, they're always fighting with one another, right? You are a fire hydrant. Look at you. Do you get urinated on a lot by animals? You're a fire hydrant. There's more going on here than we think. Probably. You have yet to adventure to Discord? Well, you're welcome, yo Maple. It's just like a chat, like you're here. You don't have to show your face or anything. You can just type in, or read. I hardly ever go on there. In my community, it's self-run by all the wonderful people here. We got wonderful moderators on there. There's a solar eclipse that's coming up as well. Look at that. Oh, I wake up and watch your bard while making coffee and brushing your teeth. Look at that. Yeah. I don't know how you do it, Green Knight. You must have a lot of energy because you're up walking all night long in the streets, and then you get up early and everything. You have a lot of energy. Well, you're quite young still. You're in your latter 20s or early 30s. You probably have lots and lots of energy. Earth was seeded by advanced beings from another star system. Very much possible. Yeah. Who knows, right? Who knows? There's so much we don't know. That's fun, right? Not knowing is fun. Learning about it. When you know everything, it's no fun. Yeah. Let's see here. Where is the 10% at? Are you talking about my foreskin, Cindy? You want the 10%? Let's see here. Oh shit! Where am I at here? You're quite right about the passion potentially. Although I'm also quite passionate about other things I believe are cool and beautiful, but you're right. Yeah. Well, I'm not always right. I only judge by words and things. I don't always have the motivation because I can't see. I only can judge, out of my own experience, really. I must believe in one of those preachers that plays it poured on Don plays. What I don't know. What does that mean? Chemistry. So you've changed your image again. You thought we still lived on turtles and backs? Well, that would be fun. It's 2:57 a.m. for Down Under Debbie. She's like, I'm getting up and getting spiritually entertained and get my nicotine fix in the middle of the night with my pipe and rocking chair here. The didgeridoos are about to start cranking out. So happy I stumbled across this channel. We love you here, Ryan. We appreciate you being here. Oh, let's see here. Homo erectus. Yeah, you're getting an erection with that one, aren't you? See, love is needless. What? Where am I going here? Trampus Bowmaster. You're having a conversation with him. Now, Trampus Bowmaster is like a walking green man. He's got all of these green man tattoos all over his body, on the back of his head, on his arms. He's got all of this beautiful art all over his body. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a green man on his penis. I mean, he's got it all over his body. Don't share that picture on Discord. Don't share that picture on Discord. The other tattoos are fine. Keep your penis off the Discord. Yeah. We, as Homo sapiens, have been on Earth for a very short period of time compared to other hominid species. Homo erectus was around 2 million years ago compared, yeah. Yeah, well, it depends on what we find, right? You know, the 300,000-year-old finds. What if we find other stuff, right? You know, it's possible to find other stuff. And when we do, then we're going to be starting all over again. We only can judge upon what we find, right? Wouldn't it be wonderful to find evidence that is at least 1 million years old of people running around with drill bits and everything, you know, all kinds of technology. I know a lot about Homo erectus. I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm taking a break. It's Wednesday. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Only one man rose from the dead. Okay. Let's see here. Dungeon Masters here. Good to see you. Neanderthals had healers and doctors. We have found set broken bones, evidence of splits. They had a vast culture. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I watched a documentary on the culture of the Neanderthal. It's pretty amazing. Let's see here. We were humanity way before we were Homo sapien. Many of our ancient ancestors were smart and had culture, even religion. Yeah. Wouldn't it be interesting if we discovered like a vast treasury, like under Egypt or something, of how our ancestors understood religion in the ancient world? Could you imagine the uproar of Christianity? Oh, that's all the devil. That's all the devil. Yeah. Let's see, where are we at? Can someone give Mouthpiece a timeout? Yeah, he's got lots of timeouts. The Jesus Jacob person, he's a real fanatic here. You got new moons in the dungeon? Oh, shit. Do you know what Shiba anuses are? No, why don't you tell me about your Shiba in your anus? Oh, tell me about it. Every week there's a new victim. Oh, shit. Aggressive atheists are just as bad as fundamentalists. Yeah, they are. They are. Oh, let's see here. What a poet. Oh, man. Where are we going here? Trying to get to the end. I'm getting towards the end, ladies and gentlemen. We are making our way, but we'll return back later on today when we get to the end for gummy time. Buckeye for life. Nice to see you. We've been on, what, almost 3 hours. Isn't that something? Where are we at? Please subscribe and support the Bard. Keep the world free of ignorance. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren finds value here. I appreciate that. Let's see here. People rise from the dead every day. Yeah, happens. Let's see, where are we at? Scrolling through, trying to get to the end here. You like pancakes? Oh, great. What do you think about miracles? Oh, depends how you want to talk about the context of them. You talk to an atheist that goes live on here, it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I have no problem with atheists. We have lots of atheists on here that are friends of mine. I don't force my beliefs on anybody. I could be wrong. I could be delusional about deity. I could be mentally ill. That's on the table. Am I mentally ill? If I am, I enjoy being mentally ill. I could be quite delusional. I mean, you have to consider that you have lost your mind. Yep. Roku, Valentine's Day is coming up. Yes, thank you. The fact they buried the dead with grave goods suggests that they had some sort of concepts of afterlife. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. 3 hours. Well, yeah. I have no life. No, this is life here. Entertainment, right? We have a good time on here every day. I missed most of the show. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah. Am I mentally ill? Perhaps. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. We're getting towards the end here. Yep. All right. We have come to the end of the program. We will return to you this evening around 4:30, around Eastern Standard Time, for when Deb's supposed to be waking up. Deb, go back to sleep and come back to us later on today. You need your sleep. Sorcerers, go to the lake of fire. Ooh, I'm scared. Ah! All right.